Over the last 2 months, I've been writing 1,000 words every day for the next 60 days, which if you've been sticking around, that is a very familiar phrase to you. In this video, I'm going to be answering just like questions in general about my book's plans for the future, and also when I expect it to be in your guys' hands and what I want to do with publishing. So sit back, relax, go get some nerd clusters or something and watch this. It's my favorite candy. I literally am getting over getting sick, so bear with me. I still sound a little bit sick sometimes. But as you all know, I just finished the 60-day writing challenge thing, so we're going to answer some questions. I asked you guys to comment questions on a video yesterday, so we have a lot to go through. There's a lot of you. Also, I just got a new mic and a new light. I love it. A lot of people asked what the hardest day of the challenge was. That was probably when I ended up in the hospital when I thought I had appendicitis, because that was the day I couldn't write at all because I left right away in the morning for it because I was worried, and then I didn't get back until 9 o'clock at night, so I did not write that day. But we're talking actual writing days. I don't know, half of them were really hard days because it's a lot to get all those words out. A lot of people asked what inspired me to do this challenge, and honestly, it was just the fact that I needed 60,000 words more for my book, so I was like, I should do a series where I write 1,000 words. It was a lot of work, I will tell you that. What day did I have the most inspiration to write? I don't remember exactly the day that I had the most inspiration, but I do know when I did have the most inspiration. I wrote close to 2,000 words that day. A lot of people ask, what music do I listen to when I write? And if so, what songs? Taylor Swift, because her songs are so like emotionally true and on point, and a lot of T Swift and a lot of Gracie Abrams. Most of the time, I usually just don't listen to anything when I write because I used to be able to more, but I'm trying to get like prose and like detail, and so it's harder to like slow down when you're listening to fast-paced music. Okay, this person said that she heard a commenter or a subscriber on the channel gave the name Survivor Duo to my main couple and asked like that felt like. It was really cool because it already feels like then that there's people like fangirling over it and it's not even out yet, which I'm very excited by. That was a really fun thing, and I love the name Survivor Duo. It's so fun. And when I'm not going to reveal what their names are, then people have something to call on me. They ever have an awful writer's block period? No, actually. Like, wasn't consecutive days where I like could not write. There was days I had to force myself to write, but it kind of made me realize like months and months I went thinking I had writer's block. I really didn't. I was just like lazy. And so I think by doing this challenge, it actually kind of made me realize that writer's block isn't really a thing and you're just lazy and out of ideas. And so when you have to like force yourself to do it, I think that actually helps get you out of writer's block. So if you have writer's block, just you can do way less of a challenge than I did because this was a lot. But yeah, really, there wasn't a writer's block element to it because it was just survival. Music inspired my book. All of Taylor Swift. I'm trying to think if there's like one song that kind of, and I know there is one, but I just don't know which song it is at the moment. So maybe I'll make a post about that if I remember what song it was. But all of them, especially Tortured Poets Department. So if you listen to Tortured Poets Department, just think about my book, guys. What days were the hardest and why? Days I was really, really busy. I remember there was one day where I had stuff going on every day, and so I stayed up until like 10:30 or something getting the writing done and then posting the video for the writing challenge, because a lot of people don't even like think that part of it, but those videos that I posted, those 20-second videos every day, those took me about an hour to do because I had to film them, voiceover, edit, upload, which it took a long time. So over those 60 days, that was a lot of hours that I spent towards that. So I was up late, both writing and uploading those videos. How far along was I in the book before I started the writing challenge? I was 40,000 words in because I wanted to get it to 100,000, which I have. And I needed 60,000 more. So 60-day writing challenge, you know? I ever questioned my sanity because I decided to do the challenge? Yes, I very much did. Days that I sat in front of my computer, just ouch, wall, that hurt. Typical me. Sorry, this is probably blowing out the mic. But there's a lot of days where I'm like, why did I choose to do this? A lot of days where I wrote a chapter, wrote 1,000 words that I'll probably end up cutting because 100,000 words is really long for a YA novel. So I'm probably going to try to get it down to like 75 words. So I know there's going to be stuff I'm going to need to cut. Did question my sanity. Thank you for asking that. And a girl in her book's 29. A lot of people asked how I like kept going with the series. and like how I pushed through and kept doing it. Honestly, it was you guys. Like if I did not have 11,000 people to hold me accountable, there's no way I would have finished. Like I didn't want to let y'all down. What advice would I give to other young authors trying to write a book? This needs its own video. But if I were to give some advice, it would be to just like read good books, because if you read boring books, then it's going to show. And also just be patient with yourself. Like you're going to be bad at first. I'm not great either. Hopefully I can fix that in editing, but like you're going to be bad at first and you got to give yourself a little grace there. Like it's okay to be bad at first. You're going to grow. And also one thing that I see often with like beginners is like writing is like very simple and it's just like this and there's no internal monologue. So really learn how to write internal monologue and pay a lot of attention to that in books. The Dance of Thieves duology, I don't know how to say that word, but this series has like some of the best internal monologues. So when I need to remember how to write internal monologue, these are the books I come to. I set them there because I figured I'd end up bringing something. Some people just like gave me a list of questions, which I love, but we're gonna have to go fast here. Did the story go the way I expected? No. I like the beginning, the midpoint, and the end, which is like a lot of people do. And I tried to plan it out, but then I pretty much ended up scrapping that very detailed plan and just went with the 3 points that I had. So it was like plotted a little bit, but there was a lot of discovery I had to do in between that. So I'm not a pantser, but I'm also not a complete plotter in that sense either. What's the favorite chapter in my book? Oh, I don't know what chapter it is, but like midway through the book, there's something that happens to the main character. And the way that I wrote what happened, I'm actually like so proud of. And that's like really rare for me to actually be like proud of something that I wrote, which is kind of sad. You gotta be more proud, but like, I don't know. You just critique your own stuff. So when the book is out and released, I'll tell you guys what scene that was later. So you can come back to this in a year and be like, that was the scene that she was talking about. What are some ways I found time to write on busy days? To write when I should be sleeping. And like I went so late in the day to get the writing done. And it wasn't until like the 20 days of the challenge. So when I would film those writing videos, I wasn't actually writing there. I had written hours before that. Sometimes even after, but that was pretty rare. Sometimes if I like had to leave, I'd film the video and then write on the road. But there was, eventually I started waking up early in the morning. And right before I went on my phone and scrolled, because when you scroll early in the morning, then you get a high dopamine hit and then like it spikes. And so like you need more dopamine throughout the day if you start out with a high. And so if you don't go on your phone, then you kind of do more not on your phone. That's just good advice for life in general, is don't scroll right away in the morning. I wish I would listen to that advice more because I pretty much do it every morning anyway. But once that I knew I was going to be busy, I would just wake up early and write on my couch and just me in my laptop. No pun intended with a YouTube name. But just in my laptop, and I would just write and write. What's the book about? What age is it for? What genre? It's like a dystopian enemies to lovers. And there's like, they deal with a lot of trauma. And that wasn't my original intent. And personally, I don't deal with trauma, but like ages like 12, 13, kind of like the Hunger Games, even Dance of Thieves. There's going to be no spice or swearing in it, but it is going to have some trauma dealing stuff. And it's going to be graphic. I said that way too happily. I think my soul just left my body. How effective was the challenge? It was highly effective, guys. I finished the book. I think I just said effective 2 different ways in that sentence. I don't know the correct way. Effective. Asked how my experience is getting to write my draft and how have I gotten to know the characters in the story better and how is it evolving. I've gotten to know the characters better. I am going to be so sad when the book's done and I have to like say bye to them. Obviously, like I've gotten to know them really well. I feel like I understand kind of who they are as people better, and kind of like their motivations, their relationships with each other. I feel like I've been able to develop that well. And there are like 2 side characters especially that I just love, and I can't wait for you guys to meet them because they're like my favorite. I love them so much. What was my favorite day that I made? I don't know if that means video or writing. I didn't really have a favorite video. Well, actually, I think my favorite video was actually the one where I ended up in the hospital because there was nothing bad. Like, nothing happened. I just had a stomachache and I don't know why. It might have been food poisoning, actually. That was kind of funny because I like started day 26 of writing 1,000 and then I just like ended video. I was like, I didn't write any words today. So I think that was my favorite video to make. I know what my favorite writing day was. Probably when I got to write that favorite scene that happens to the main character. Did I ever lose motivation? Absolutely. Did I go back to the comments and be like, okay, they're excited, I can do this? Absolutely also. Which am I most proud of? Reaching my goal or writing 1,000 words a day? Because my goal was to reach 1,000 words a day, it's kind of like both. So I'm proud that I did it because I didn't think I was gonna. But would I repeat the challenge? Absolutely. Would I do it right now? No, because I need a break. But if there's a chance for me to do it over, I 100% would, because it was so helpful. What made me choose this genre? I love dystopia. It's just like typical YA, and I read a lot of that, and so that's what I wanted to write, Write what you know. You don't have to write about your life, but you can write something you're familiar with, What inspired me to write the story? The story is just things that I've watched some people go through. That's kind of wanted to address. So that was kind of the why behind. Can we get more excerpts? Yes, you will get more excerpts. Don't worry. I'm sure as I edit, I'll give you guys pieces. You'll get more quotes and stuff too. Don't worry. Did I completely finish my book the end of the 60 days? Kind of. I think I have to kind of wrap up the story a little bit and kind of finish it up. But for the most part, it's pretty done draft wise. Did I write everything all at once in one sitting, or did I small breaks, or did I randomly write throughout the day? Most of the time I did it all in one sitting. I would get up to get nerd clusters or something, because that's just a me thing to do. But really, it was just all in one sitting. There was only a couple of days where I would write and then come back hours later. I can't do that. I have to sit down in one sitting. Usually in the morning works best. How many times did I rewrite my first chapter? I haven't even gone back to the first chapter, but right now it has 3 beginnings. And the thing is half with before I started the writing challenge is a little bit different vibes. And so I'm probably going to have to end up rewriting a lot of the 40,000, which is going to kind of suck. As the challenge challenged me, I just kind of force to do it. I didn't think I would be able to force myself. No, I think honestly that I'd be able to do it and force myself to do it. Really, when I started, I was like, this is so long. This is 2 months. I can't do it. I'm going to get busy. But I just had to force myself to work through it. So that was definitely very challenging. Am I satisfied with the progress? Absolutely. I love. How long did it take me per day? This is actually an interesting question. No one's asked this. Usually on the fastest end, I think it took me an hour and a half, and on the slowest end 3 or 4 hours. I just locked in my room in the dark, and all I wanted was to watch football. I got it done. But that was one of the days where I literally write exactly 1,000 words. Doesn't matter if I'm in the middle of a sentence, I just tap immediately. But I got 1,000. I'll probably end up cutting the chapter, because when I'm super done and brain dead, then I don't write good. I don't talk good either. How many chapters did I write? Right now it's 74, and it's gonna get cut down obviously because I'm gonna do a lot of cutting for editing, but I think it's literally 74. What do I plan on doing now? I'm gonna save that for the end, because I kind of want to talk through the future plans for the book and everything, because everyone's I want to read it now. But it's gonna be a little bit, so we're gonna talk at the end about what I plan to do after. What was your true motivation? That's kind of the last question. I'm gonna plug my phone in because it's pretty dead. Do you like my Spider-Man phone case? But the biggest motivation for me was just knowing I wanted to tell the story to be able to encourage people that are going through some of these hard things, and I wanted people to be able to see themselves in these characters. I wanted people to fall in love with these characters, stuff like that. And even when you don't have a big social media following, I don't even have a big one. I just have a social media following. But knowing who's going to enjoy it, and remembering you're going to write and why you want to do it. And then just setting goals for yourself, and then holding yourself or having someone else hold you accountable to those goals is definitely the most helpful. For the future of my book. So now that the draft is done, this is kind of part of the process, not going to lie. So for the next month, I'm going to step away from it, which is not as long as you're supposed to step away from it, I don't think, because Haley Pham also did this with hers, and that's what you're supposed to do, to kind of get some space before you start editing it. So I'm going to step back for about a month and not write anything for it. or edit it or touch it or read it and then come back with kind of a fresh mind. But after that, I plan to just go through and just comb through everything. Like, I'm going to go through and break down the plot. I'm going to go through and make sure every character is good, like their arcs, like beats and all that. Like, I'm going to go through, I'm just going to do everything. And looking, I'm trying to figure out what route I want to go with publishing. I might be looking at like traditional, which would be good for me and would be good for the book, but that does mean it's a longer wait for you guys. And I know that kind of sucks because it takes a long time to actually like get the book out and get it sold after that, because you have to like get an agent, get a publisher, get an editor, get a cover designer, get an interior person. But I would really like to do that for my book. And you know, ever want to see your book or have a shot at seeing your book in a bookstore, you can't indie publish. So that's probably the route I'm going to go with. And I like making you guys wait longer, but I do know if I go with traditional publishing, the book's going to be a lot higher quality than if it was just me working on it. So it's going to be probably still about a year. I'm not sure. I'll try to keep you posted as much as I can once I know more about like what I plan to go and all that. But yeah, so it'll be a bit of a longer wait. So sorry.